Hi, I'm Laurie Wheeler, and we're here live at the Rhode Island Home Show. I wanted to share with you today about a great technology. It's bioarchitecture. And we have here Bob Wheeler, who is the distributor and part owner of this company. So, hi Bob.
Good morning.
I want to introduce him as Bob Wheeler, but he's also my husband. He's a visionary. This is a great product that he's bringing forward, and it's listed under habitatsforhumanity.com.
Habitatsforhumans.com.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Right. We'll edit that out.
Habitatsforhumans.com.
So we've got some questions to ask him, and I hope you're going to enjoy this. So, Bob, tell me a little bit about what biotech really is all about.
Okay. Biotech is basically, I'm just going to let this kind of...
Yeah, they'll edit it.
They'll edit this out, this part here. But biotech is about sustainability, green building techniques. Our product is actually made out of recycled plastic from the ocean, fiberglass panel on one side, Formica on the other, and then we have a resin-based recycled plastic panel that we use in between. It's fire retardant. These homes or these panels will last probably about 300 years plus or minus. That's how long it takes to break down plastic. Fireproof, waterproof, earthquake-proof, hurricane-proof. When all bolted together, it's a very, very, very strong structure.
Let me ask you this.
Sure.
What makes it this way?
It's basically it's a different type of technology in the sense is we're not using nails or nail guns to build the homes. Everything is all bolted together. So every 9, 12, 10 inches on center, the panels are all bolted together. So it's the panels themselves are the structure. Any interior walls are not structural, so very simple to move.
And tell us a little bit about the panels themselves. Can you explain that?
Yeah, basically there's all different size panels. It's a modular system, so every 1 foot, we can make it bigger, smaller, as whatever is needed. Your typical ceiling height is 10'6", but if we needed to go higher ceilings, we could actually go with higher ceilings with just making the stem walls or the foundation walls that much higher. We can have a full basement made out of concrete and basically have a first floor.
I'm going to grab them.
Oh, great, thank you. Super.
So
yes.
Show us a little bit about this.
So here's a section of the biotech panel. These flanges are on are what connect to the foundation. Every 2 feet on center for every panel, we actually have anchor bolts, and then in the sides they're all bolted together. 5/8 stainless steel washers, bolts all get connected. Building departments are loving this. So this is the exterior. Here's the panel that we use, proprietary. And here's the Formica interior. What happens is we put spray foam insulation on the outside. So whatever the local building code is for your specific area, we add. Currently right now in New England, 3 inches of spray foam is R21. On the walls, 7 inches of spray foam on the roof is R49. So again, we exceed all local building codes. The R value for this panel is like R8, but we really don't even count that. We try to just exceed expectations. So we put the spray foam insulation on the panel, and then we add 8 to 10 inches of earth with earth bags, and basically that's it. Really simple.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the health benefit of this product.
All right. Well, there's a couple of different elements. So when you put the earth all over the top of it, you're now geothermal. So you're tapping into the natural 68-degree temperature of the earth. So in the wintertime, you're going to be warmer. Summertime, you're going to be cooler. That all being said, basically you're surrounded by earth. So on my website, habitatsforhumans.com, you'll be able to see videos about the healthful benefits of living under the earth or living surrounded by the earth. What happens is our panels or the earth bags break down, and then you're completely surrounded with a root system that basically is very sustainable, very healthy, very green, as far as technology.
Yeah, so this is considered the future of housing.
Yes, yes it is, yeah.
And I think you mentioned about a copper Faraday cage.
Yes, if somebody, again, some of the healthful benefits of these.
Keep going.
Yeah, some of the healthful benefits of the panels is basically when we put the earth all over the top of the roof and on the sides, it cuts down on EMF or electromagnetic forces. The 5G pandemic that's coming down the road is going to be awful for us. So with the earth filtering out those energies and frequencies, very, very healthy. We can actually take and put a copper Faraday cage. It's almost kind of like a sheet of aluminum foil we can actually take and put in the panel. By doing that, again, it's just a copper Faraday cage surrounding, which is, again, very, very beneficial to your health.
So it's copper or aluminum?
Copper.
It's copper,
Yes,
yeah, okay. Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
So here at the expo and people that you speak to, how is it being received
Oh
by
my God.
people?
It's, you know what it is it's a new type of technology. You know, I've been telling people the future is now, and you know, we cannot keep cutting down forests and polluting our ocean and expect a better world. It's just not going to happen. The amount of people that have come by, you know, when we tell people what the costs of these are, you know, roughly about, you know, $70-80 a square foot for the panels, and about $100 and up depending upon your geographic area for construction costs. It makes it very affordable. You know, we've had people, you know, that have had dreams of living in this type of house, you know, from the Hobbit design that we have on this side to very futuristic, very contemporary. We can design virtually anything that you want. Myself, I'm an architect. We've got several other architects that work with us. The owner of the company, he's an architect. Our structural engineer of the company, he's a structural engineer. So basically, you know, we want to kind of design what it is that you're looking for, so people are loving it. There's so much flexibility in the whole process.
Yeah, and just a little bit about the dome structure.
Sure.
And what makes this such a unique and purposeful way to build.
Mm-hmm. Well, the dome, it's like the Roman arch, and the Roman arch is one of the strongest elements for structure. So if you picture as you can kind of see behind me, the way that the panels are all put together, it's the panels that are the structure. So basically, like I was saying, there's really any interior walls, are non-structural. You put all this together. From a environmental perspective, again with tornadoes and wind and all these elements of climate change, this type of design is going to survive high velocity winds, tornadoes, hurricanes. We're building in Oklahoma, some of these areas in the Caribbean, Mexico, South America, in these areas where there's shift happening in the world. So basically what I'm looking to do is be part of that change. And the change is for the better, or that's the way that I want to make it, is a change for the better.
Yeah, and my understanding is that this product, these houses, afford an opportunity to build them in places where stick-built housing, or maybe even just tiny homes, really doesn't function as well. This is made for putting inside a hillside or even mountain area, or on flat land. It can have a basement, or it can have a slab, as long as it's bolted and held to the ground, right?
Some of these areas, for example, we're getting inquiries from these Caribbean areas that you have, high humidity, mold, with stick-built or bamboo or even concrete. All of those elements are porous, so basically mold and health are compromised because of it. With this type of structure, again, we don't have any mold, we don't have any water issues. The competition, you have these straw bale homes, you have these metal container homes. Metal container homes, basically you'll get rust, and they will have mold. Not very good for your health. The straw bale homes, again, they will have mold. You get black mold in your house, that's very dangerous. So again, my type home does not have that element to worry about.
Yeah, and so with plastic product, is there any fear or worries about the plastic?
No. Again, it's, the only fear is that it will just never go away. And so, the problem of our humanity right now is we're pretty much, taking, bottles and just throwing them in the ocean. And what I'm trying to do is take the bottles from the ocean and do something with them, make homes out of these types of products.
Yeah. So is there any off-gassing to this?
No off-gassing.
No worry about off-gassing?
No.
No mold?
No.
No deterioration, which makes no maintenance, really, right?
Yeah, virtually no maintenance to the outside for approximately 300 years. That's how long it takes to break down.
Yeah.
So for this new generation, this next generation that does not want to be, attached or stuck to a house with, having to maintain the roof. We were just in Colorado. We lived in Colorado for a few years, and one of the biggest problems in Colorado is hail damage. The average life of a roof in Colorado is 10 years, and then that's $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 that you weren't expecting to pay because of hail damage. Again, there's no hail damage. This is very environmental. We can build these on a beautiful site, and they all just kind of blend into the earth. That was, you asked the question of what does most people like. It's the fact that these homes can actually just blend into the earth, and you're part of a living organism. You're part of the environment. So it's not like sticking out like some of these big McMansions that are being created as statements to, whatever.
Yeah, so it can be a tiny home. What's the smallest size?
The smallest is what I have right behind me here.
We'll take a look at.
Yeah, we'll walk through in a second. Yeah, 234 square feet, 18,400 is the cost of the panels, and you then have shipping costs and tax, again, depending upon you live, and then construction costs, foundations, land costs are all on top of that. And again, those variables will vary, from location as far as where you're building.
And I think you mentioned before, but approximately what would the total cost be for square footage?
About $80, $70 to $80. It depends on the size of your house. The bigger the house, you could be down as low as $60 a square foot. The bigger the house, you're going to get more benefits because the pricing will go down. Construction costs vary all across the United States. I tell people anywhere from $100 to $200 a square foot for these costs, but these costs are again less than what the typical stick-built house is. And not only that, but the fact that you have geothermal, and that's going to cut down on heating, electrical, air conditioning costs. The fact that basically if you were to build, two different houses, one sustainable and green, one regular constructed, the sustainable and green house is going to sell for 20% more than your average stick-built house because of the benefits of geothermal, because of long-term no maintenance. It's just a better design. As a successful architect for 33 years, this is the direction of the future, and this is what I want to be a part of, and this is why I'm so passionate about making a change.
So, Bob, tell us, how long does it take to order something like this, and in comparison to building a home?
Okay. The nice part of our product is what has to happen is, again, we have to go through all the building permits and stuff like that is regularly required for a typical house. I'm an architect. The guys that I work with are architects. I surround myself with better people than myself and really good people so that the only expectation is a positive outcome. That being said, typical foundation, has to go in 4-inch concrete slab, stem walls going all around. Again, all conforms to local building codes. We talk to the building departments to make sure that they have no questions, no issues. From there, basically, it takes about 10 to 12 weeks to order the panels, and then shipping, comes from the factory. A couple of weeks as far as possible shipping, but again, it just depends on where the location is, where it's all coming from, and then basically it's going to be about probably about a week or two, again, depending upon size of house. An average 1,000 square foot house could be assembled in as short a time as like 1 to 2 weeks. Now the shell is all assembled. I provide the panels. My guys will assemble the shell, and then basically I try to turn it over to local builders so that basically they can do the electrical, the plumbing, the plastering, whatever is needed to be done. That being said, Again, 30% of the cost of a typical stick-built home ends up in the dumpster. You're paying for that. So 4x8 sheets of plywood, 2x4s, all of those things get cut and they get put in the dumpster. The dumpster goes to a landfill. You're contributing to the delinquency of our world. That being said, the 30% is major. Take $100,000 of a cost to build a house. 30% of that is $30,000. You're just throwing down the drain.
It's not a very good carbon footprint.
No, it's
right?
not. It's not.
Yeah.
And again, that's part of what we're doing. It's like, these panels are very lightweight. There's not a single panel. Myself and my wife.
Yep. So, it's just the two arms.
Exactly.
How long did it take us to put one together?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
Yeah. Without the top structural pieces,
exactly.
Because they are very heavy.
Yep.
But really, that's just bolting it together without doing anything else. But it's not rocket science.
Yeah. No, it's very, very simple, very, very lightweight. On my website, Habitats for Humans, I have my installation guide, I have my construction manual, so everything is detailed as far as how we put it together. On my website, I have my catalog, my pricing, technical information, videos. Call my cell phone and you will hear my voice,
And a little bit more about some of the videos that you have on the website.
Videos are showing, walkthroughs of some of the projects that we've done, scientists that basically, and doctors that talk about the health benefits of, earthing and grounding, because you're part of a living organism. It talks about all of the healthful benefits. So what I try to do is I have information and technical details that basically, I know that this product is good, you don't know that this product is good, but what I try to do is put out there as much information as I possibly can so that you can see the health benefits for yourself. Look into this stuff, look into research this, and any questions, I'm here to answer those questions.
Yeah, and this is one of my favorite parts, because as we do these expos and we speak more to people, we hear a lot of folks talking about wanting to do wellness centers, wanting more community type living. So tell us a little bit about why is this good for community living?
Yeah, well, there's multiple reasons. Community living, again, it's going to be less expensive. The biggest problem right now that we're facing in our humanity is what do we do with the population? Housing shortage, accessory dwelling units. Those are big things that are popping up. Homelessness, because there's not enough housing. People can't afford to have their own home or even rent. Renting prices. So when I tell people the costs of what these are, for less than $100,000, you can have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath house that's going to last for 300 years, no maintenance. It's crazy. It's really the way of the future.
Yeah, and it affords an opportunity to live in a community of like-minded living. Yeah. So in addition to this type of dwelling, there's also something that is a biosphere that can be purchased if wanted for, we'll say, growing your food year-round. And in certain climates, it's very difficult to grow your food year-round. But there's a specific way to do this. And so for a community of certain amount of homes that want to share in their growing of their food, this is opening up opportunities for different way to live amongst people.
It's actually taking back our ability to sustain ourselves. Imagine if we had to just, rely on local supermarkets. The big thing in local supermarkets now is organic food. And there's a shortage of that. There's a shortage of good food because of population growth. When we can actually have our own source of food in our biodomes. And again, they can be on the top of the highest mountain, they can be in the Caribbean. What we actually do is it's a geothermal system. So we go down 4 feet into the ground to tap into the geothermal. We take and put a 500-gallon water drum with fish. So the fish poop actually, fertilizes your plants. The water is the mass that basically controls the temperature in there, plus the humidity. It's a self-sustaining containment. Where you can grow your food all year long. Incredible in the sense of what we're trying to do, where we're trying to bring the future of humanity.
you know, we have concern about all the chemicals and things that are in our environment, whether it be water, soils. The soils are very depleted. And so this gives an opportunity for control over your food, which is an extremely important aspect of living in a comfortable and very healthful way. As a practitioner, I see so much of that going on, not only in our, you know, aged population, but just in young children also. So it's a great way to live, and I just might add a little piece here. I know because I add the fish water that has the poop in it to all of my plants, and it amazes me how well they grow, how they flourish with just very little in addition to the water. It's amazing to watch the fruit that comes out of and becomes our food out of our growing. So
one thing I just want to add there is one of the biggest keys that I see at these home shows is people, they're wanting to be off the grid. You know, we can't build these types of homes in a city, you know, in a downtown area, but basically you can be off the grid. You can have solar panels, you can have wind. There's so many different directions that you can build with this type of home. Do you want to walk around? Let's walk around. Sure.
Take a look at everything. I think there's more to tell us about. Let's go inside first.
Okay, that sounds great. Let me just move my chair.
Beautiful photos.
Okay, you can see some pictures here.
So if that doesn't excite you, there is a project that may be beginning up in New Hampshire.
Yeah, this project here is in North Conway on the side of Saco River.
Yes.
So we're hoping to start that hopefully this summertime. It was put on hold once COVID hit.
Okay, very good.
Here's some.
Let's go into the inside.
Yeah, and you can see.
First, I want to just show you. We are just standing at the doorway's edge of this particular structure. Now, the top pieces are not there, but the rest of it, the sides and all, they've been bolted together, and you can see it's a kind of a simple process here. And from being bolted, then what comes next, Bob?
Well, basically just one element. So for example, you can see this is a 15.5-foot span. So the structure is all in the panels. And so basically when people think about building a house in the ground, they think, oh my God, how dark it is, and it's going to be, you know, a really dark structure. This is roughly 15 feet by 10.5 feet of all glass. You know, you can virtually do anything because it's non-structural. We can have skylights, we can do virtually anything with regards to creativity.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the photos.
Sure.
And many of these are up on the website to be seen. But we're just going to take a little peek at everything here that you've got at the home show.
You can see down here on the bottom how you go from, it's a modular system, so basically roughly 30 by 30 with the center constructed structural arch, which is our, you know, water catchment, you know, to doubling that size, to tripling that size. Like I said, it's a whole modular system, so very, very, very easy to make smaller, make larger, whatever it is that you're looking for.
And as you can see, that it works in the heavy snow because of the structure, but then it can work in a desertous environment also because it's geothermal. It works to work with your temperatures.
In the mountains, in humid, you know, Caribbean type weather.
Yes. And some
there's
of
no
these
limitations.
Are photoshopped due to wishing and hoping that we can bring this type of living more into the forefront.
Yeah, if you want to come over here, Laurie, this is the biodome that we were talking about.
Yes, this is the biosphere that we were just mentioning about growing your food.
Yeah, roughly 22 feet in diameter. You know, here's a good example of a completed house that we have in Virginia. So again, you know, all the grass, and it's just, you know, as far as the exterior, it can be grass, it can be, you know, periwinkle. I've got a book that will show types of plantings and stuff like that that are indigenous to your specific area. So really cool things that can be done. Again, all the windows, all the doors are all standard sizes. So whether it's Anderson, Marvin, Pella, or whatever the companies are, all standard. So very, very simple.
This is one of the videos on the website also. It shows virtual, it shows actual going up, the whole construction from the time the panels come off the truck to the completion. Yep, and that's a skylight at the top there that you were just noticing.
Very, very, the houses are very, very light filled. So, you don't have to worry about lack of information, as far as
kind of what we say is a contemporary Hobbit home, because it is very light in contrast to a Hobbit home, which is the dark under the ground, not much light coming in, what we think from the movie The Hobbit, but similar in nature.
As far as, here's a good picture right here, Laurie, that actually shows the type of heating systems. We have the lanai, kind of like mini splits, that are here that actually have heat, air conditioning, dehumidification, and water purification. So basically, these are elements that that can be used. Radiant floor heats. Air filtration and dehumidification was what I was trying to say. And then we can actually build false ceilings, for mechanical elements, for air filtration as far as fans, skylights. Molding details are really limited only by the imagination. You can see here's the start of a project, and then right over here, Laurie, you can actually see finished details of how really cool the houses can become. The panels themselves can be painted. One of the popular details of the interior panels is like a faux finish that can be done. We did the show, home show at the Boston Flower and Garden Show. We won Best of Show, Best Sustainability, Best Green Product, Best Innovation. So some pretty cool things. Check out these homes that we have right here too. These are more of our prototypes as far as things that we're doing right now, as far as 2-level types of homes, 1-bedroom homes that we have. So as far as just...
And you can hear, just by people walking in the door, we can hear the overwhelming response of, such excitement, and how unique it is.
And who wouldn't want that?
Exactly.
And who wouldn't want that? Right. There you go. Thank you.
Yep.
So we're just going to show you a little bit here. But all of this is on the website.
Yes, it is.
So you can really take a look closely. And like Bob said, the catalog and everything that you might have as initial questions is there. You can see them taking the panels. Bob's involved always through the whole project, taking the panels right off the truck, and then they begin to become assembled with the crew. And of course, there is an option of your own assembly if you choose you want to assemble by yourself, or whether you want our crew to do that. So, and then let's just talk a little bit about the Earth ships, Bob. We can touch on that.
No, basically, Mike Reynolds, he was a pioneer for the Earth ships. He started out in Taos, New Mexico. The Earth ships are right up here. It's his a more sustainable, reusing water, growing your own food. What he's done over his 40 to 50 year career is use tires and stuff from recycling. And what's happening now is all of that stuff is starting to downgrade. Yeah, exactly. And so he's having lots of problems with the houses and stuff like that. So again, a pioneer in what things can be done. His home started around 350, ours started about 100. And so same concept, same details, but just a better way of doing something. So,
and this particular one right here is in Costa Rica right now.
Yep.
And here is the factory in South America of how they're making the product.
And that's current. Right now we're in communication with several different locations. One location out on the West Coast, one on the East Coast, one in Mexico, one in Panama, as far as possible factories. Our goal for this upcoming year is to get the factory closer to the United States, just to cut down on shipping costs to make them even more affordable. So Let's go right around the outside.
Yeah,
if you want to take a picture, here's a picture here of just, again, if we use this as the arch. So for example, if this is the 15.5-foot section and this is the arch, we could have like an 8-foot round door. If I were doing it, I'd have an 8-foot round door, a section on this side and a section on that side. You can almost see it here. This could be glass, this could be glass, and then you have a standard door. This type of a door with one hinge does not work. So it does not work. So again, with something like this is very easy to build. You could have, again, a round window here, a round window on the other side, and it could look like a Hobbit home. It could look very futuristic.
Really
they do. Well, people, come on outside and let me show you some of this stuff. Again, here's some of my advertising. Again, some of the, the prettiness, we had Central Nurseries, they actually came and they actually landscaped for us. But again, here's the Hobbit picture as well. And then you can see, just picture this with all earth coming all over the top of it. You're part of nature. You're not sticking out like a big sore thumb. You're actually part of nature. And here's just an example. My doors and my windows are all flanged out. So again, when you start packing the earth bags and stuff like that, what happens is again, it's all all contoured. Everything's already put together accordingly. So come on back through here and I can show you the other side. Some of the details as far as how these things all get bolted together. Every 10-12 inches. Actually, let's step outside for one more time and I can kind of show you here on the outside. For example, over here, Laurie, you can actually see, here's the panels coming together. I just put, some small anchor bolts in here, but generally every 12 inches on center would be anchor bolted together. We'd take and put a Seal, which is an adhesive and a waterproof membrane that would join the panels together. We would then take and put a tape over that, and then from here we take and put 3 to 5 inches of spray foam insulation on the sides, 7 inches of spray foam on the roof, and then we take and put the earth bags all over it. And that's it. No maintenance for the next 300 years. So it's like, who wouldn't like something like that? No maintenance means more vacation time. So
there you go.
I like that.
I think everybody can
exactly.
get on board for that.
But come on over the other side too. I want to show you, the designer of this really put so much energy and imagination into this. For example, with just having this one panel coming across, then what happens is all of these other panels just drop into place. So, it's kind of like a Lego block system where one is connected to the other, and as a result, it makes for a very strong structural home to live in.
And the front you mentioned can be all glass, a door and then windows, which are all standard. So imagine having 1 or 2 or possibly even 3 of those type of openings in your home. How beautiful to allow the sun to come in, and yet the warmth and the effect of geothermal. When Bob mentions geothermal, this is not a product that you have to purchase to drill down into the ground to create geothermal. What makes it geothermal? Well,
you're tapping into the natural energy of the earth. Basically, if you go down 4 feet into the earth, again, depending upon your geographic area, you're going to come upon 68-degree temperature that's going to be constant in the summertime and constant in the wintertime. So by going down 4 feet into the ground and tapping into the natural energy of the earth, she's powering, your house, and so your energy costs are going to be less. When you connect to a solar panel or you connect to a wind turbine type